Hello, everybody. Jessie Lucas here of Embodied Movement Training, and I'm here for another episode of Conscious Body Conversations. And this is going to be a doozy because we are going to be talking about one of my favorite topics. But before I tell you about that or tell you what it is, I'm not going to be the one to tell you about it. Dr. Jodi Kennedy is going to be the one to share this with you. And I'm so excited to have you hear from her. She is a holistic chiropractor and applied kinesiologist. And if you don't know what that is, I was introduced to Dr. Kennedy by a mutual connection because I started talking about things like body mechanics and proprioception, which is what you're going to be hearing about today. And not a lot of people geek out on those kinds of things. But Dr. Jodi Kennedy does, and she's going to kind of peel back the curtains and really kind of literally show us what we mean by proprioception, and then we'll have a little chat about it. Dr. Jodi Kennedy, thank you so much for being here and having the knowledge to drop on such a fascinating topic. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and introduce this fascinating conversation.
Sure. So I am Dr. Jodi Kennedy, and I have been a holistic chiropractor for the past 18 years. So it's been a passion and a joy to help people really be empowered to heal themselves and help themselves, both locally and abroad and Cambodia. And it has been a lifelong dream of mine to heal people holistically. Started when I was 12. My dad had a bad lifting injury. Traditional medicine failed him for 2 years, leaving him on the verge of a wheelchair and disability. And chiropractic natural healing was the only thing that was able to restore my dad's health and give me my daddy back. So today I want to share with you some of those empowering tips so that you can have a richer, fuller life. So with that, if it's okay with you, Jessie, I would like to begin the screen share.
Yes, please.
All right, can you see the screen?
Got it, yeah.
All right, so again, today's topic is on proprioception. And this was me at 12, me and my boys. And this is my very chic office in Cambodia when I was helping people to heal. So what is proprioception and why should you care? Well, let's just back up one step and talk about what balance is. Balance is controlled by the visual sensors in your eyes, the vestibular sensors in your inner ear, and what are called proprioceptors or position sensors throughout your body, but we mostly think about them being in your feet. So what is proprioception? Proprioception is your sixth sense or your kinesthetic awareness of where your body is in space. Another way to think about it is your brain balance. So how can loss of proprioception lead to a loss of health? Well, when you lose your sense of where you are in space, it can cause many organ and visceral complaints like fatigue, digestive problems, even leaky bladder, which I know a lot of my older female patients complain of. It can contribute to many common muscle and joint problems like arthritis, be the underlying cause of rotator cuff injuries and hip replacements, and even problems like plantar fasciitis. So how can how can a loss of proprioception lead to a loss of health? And the answer is your body is a closed kinematic chain. So what does that mean? It means that everything is connected from your head all the way down to your toes, energetically, physically, and structurally. So when you lose proprioception, it creates a negative chain reaction through your body. If your feet have no idea where you are in space, when you stand on one leg, climb upstairs, you squat, you get dressed to put on pants, there's going to be a tremendous amount of continual micro motion. And that micro motion is going to stress all your bones, your joints, the muscles, all the way up through the organs from the feet to the head. And this results in increased wear and tear on your body. Not only that, but because your body has no idea of where you are in space when you lose proprioception, you'll tend to shift your weight forward to the ball of your foot and off your heels. And this has many, many negative health effects, from making you lose core strength and giving you that saggy tummy that so many of us want to get rid of, making your back vulnerable to getting injured and having low back pain. And if you think of your feet like the tires on a car, are your proprioceptors in your feet balanced and aligned? So how is your proprioception? Well, there is a very simple do-it-at-home proprioception test you can do. And if you're at home viewing this, I would encourage you to stand on one leg with your eyes closed, just like the picture is showing here. Count how many seconds you can hold your balance. Now, if you can hold your balance for 15 seconds without falling over, your proprioception is good. How did you do? Most people, being most of my patients, they start to wobble and lose their balance after about 5 to 6 seconds. And when that happens, excuse me, they can almost fall over. So when this happens and you lose your balance, what can you do to regain it and improve it, your proprioception? You can practice standing on one leg with eyes closed. You can practice doing ankle glides and literally just shifting the weight forward to the ball of your feet, backwards onto your heels. But I do encourage you to have a couch behind you, because usually when you go on the heels, you're going to want to fall over and you want a soft cushion so that doesn't happen. I would encourage you all to seek out a chiropractor in your area and get a chiropractic treatment and a spinal alignment. Again, your body is like a car, and if your frame is out of alignment, it is going to affect your overall health. You can seek out personalized proprioception classes with somebody like Jessie or myself, where we can teach you practical, very easy steps to improve that sense of where you are in space. And you can also purchase something called a progressive orthotic, where the inserts will go up progressively in size and firmness to literally pull the weight of your body back onto your heels and retrain your arch muscles in your legs. Now, I'm just going to pause for a moment and state that a lot of the traditional orthotics that you'll get are a picture and a cast of your foot and your alignment at one point in time. If that picture was taken when your foot was not adjusted or your back was not in the proper spinal alignment, wearing those orthotics could actually make you feel worse. If things change, you have a new injury or time goes by. So just something to keep in mind, that your orthotics may not be helping, but may be hurting you. And lastly, if you'd like to discuss more, you're more than welcome to schedule a free consultation with me one-on-one, and I can certainly talk to you about what else could be done naturally. So as a little fun aside, to end up this little presentation, I wrote a haiku, because I love writing poetry, on proprioception. Disease, proprioception, the key to good health. When lost, disease comes. Improved health. When balance is restored and self-awareness in space, improved health springs forth. So with that, I will end the PowerPoint and hand it back over to Jessie.
Oh my goodness, Dr. Jodi, thank you so much. I want to pull in a few of the threads that that you just spoke to. First of all, those poems were gorgeous, and I loved how the contrast of them. The way I talk about health when I'm just kind of describing overall health is that we have the opportunity to create our body as an environment for health to occur.
Mhm.
And I think that second poem you just read there really kind of captured that beautifully. And it also highlights how much control we really have for health to spring
Absolutely.
forth. Like, I believe that the true nature of our bodies is health. And we are kind of pulled away from that in so many different directions. So, to keep on topic here in the sense of like body mechanics and proprioception, you used some terms, like kinesthetic awareness. And you guys, I definitely recommend calling Dr. Jodi because to have that free consultation, because developing your kinesthetic awareness is going to be so completely eye-opening. And one more point before I could ask you a question and throw it back to you. The part about throwing the weight back onto your heels. So I don't know if you guys had kind of a visceral reaction when she was talking about that. So my background, I'm a yoga teacher and personal trainer, and I teach movement and teach body mechanics. And in the personal training room, one of the things was the most powerful changes I saw was in teaching people how to squat. I would say, okay, if I just say, Jodi, show me a squat. And almost all the time, almost 100% of the time, everybody's weight was shifted forward. And I would say one thing, okay, squat again, but this time put your weight in your heels so much so that you are able to wiggle your toes, have the ball of your foot on the ground, but be light on your toes, weight in the heels. Completely changed. And I would ask, how did that one feel compared to the other one? And not only did people feel more stable and balanced, they felt their core muscles turn on without even intentionally doing it. So you guys, this is the power of even small tweaks of proprioception. So that, I know this is just tipping, the tip of the iceberg as far as proprioception goes, but that little journey you just took it on absolutely captured kind of the most relevant and important and the implementable, if that's a word, highlights of that conversation. So question for you, when you are working with people, and I mean, you're probably like me, it's like x-ray vision, like you can see where their alignment is off and, you're like, oh, I want to change this. I'm going to change this. What, you gave us the practical tip of, stand on the one foot and hold your balance, with your eyes closed and then do that rocking back and forth. Do you have any other ways, either for somebody to kind of like turn on their kinesthetic awareness, turn on their kind of sense of proprioception? I call it the sixth sense as well. Or another practical exercise somebody could do to improve it?
Sure. So there are two other practical exercises you can do to help build your proprioception. You can sit on a exercise ball. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a very large ball that you can sit on. A lot of us have been doing that lately, being on Zoom calls, and just simply rock side to side and forward and backwards. And by doing that, it's going to be challenging continually where your body is in space. Another very good tip is to avoid wearing loose shoes. Whether it is a sandal in the summer or a boot in the winter, like an Ugg, when you wear loose shoes, your toes are going to constantly be gripping to keep the shoe on you. And when that happens, you get tightness throughout your feet. And the minute your feet get tight, they become like a board and you can't grip and know where you are. And without a doubt, that is one of the main things that causes a lot of people to feel like, okay, now I have to lean forward because my toes can't separate the way they need. So rolling a tennis ball under the bottom of your foot to massage it, getting around each toe, like going one by one and just separating one up and one down is very, very effective to restoring the mobility necessary to then regain that sense of balance.
That's awesome. Fun fact about me, and this is my kind of go-to answer anytime, you're playing those kind of get to know you games. And fun fact about me, I'm wearing socks right now. I'm not going to take them off and show you, but I can spread my toes out really, really wide. And I constantly double check it. Like, can I still do that? Can I still do that? I turn 43 next month. So I'm like, my body's doing that adjusting thing, but I'm like, that's something I want to be able to do forever. Not because it's a fun fact and an interesting thing to say, like, oh, I can spread my toes really wide, But because I know like the ripple effect all the way up that chain, like you
Yeah.
just said, and if I can continue to do that and continue to have that mobility in my toes and in all the bones of my feet, I'm going to be able to stay, or more likely to stay balanced as I age. And if I want to maintain one thing, it's that, it's that, as we age. So I want to keep this fairly short and sweet. You've given us so much already. I hope that even just this quick nugget can help you guys, the viewers, improve your proprioceptive sense and your kinesthetic awareness. Dr. Jodi, where can people find you for that free consultation or to learn more about your work?
Sure. So they can go to my website at integritychiropractic.net, and you'll see a button there where you can book an appointment and schedule a time for a free consultation with me, either online if you are not in my area, or in the office if you happen to be in the New York City area.
Awesome. Thank you. I will include that link with this video. So if you're watching, all you have to do is click. Definitely reach out. If there's one thing I could impart on anybody, it is turn on your sense of proprioception. Seriously, you guys, I am so passionate about this topic, which is why I asked Dr. Jodi Kennedy to come on to this conscious body conversation. And if you guys are interested in learning more from me, how I teach movement education and what I call embodied movement, and kind of putting together this practical sense, like Dr. Kennedy just shared with us, with kind of how that aligns with the your emotional well-being and your mental well-being. You can find me at embodiedmovementtraining.com. I would love to hear from you. There's links over there where you can click over and find me, talk to me. Dr. Jodi Kennedy, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and tune into the next episode. Have a great day.